Hi, welcome back. I'm Rachelle and I'm going to share with you another Blond Studio lightener from the Blond Studio portfolio. Let's do it. Blond Studio 7 is the newest clay lightener to the Blond Studio family. What's it going to do? It's going to give you 7 levels of lift. It is ammonia free and it lifts beautifully. It's a extreme adherence lightener, which is great for open air and balayage. It is a multi-technique lightener though. You can use it in enclosed foils. It is made from 19% clay, which makes it so smooth and it smells really nice. Let me show you how it works. We're gonna pause for a minute and I would love to share with you my final result that I did with Blond Studio 7 and my technique. Here she is, my mannequin. I have not glossed her yet with Dia Light. This is the raw product of lifting with the Blond Studio 7 clay lightener and 30 vol. I did a face framing technique, lightness in and around the face, light and dense with balayage open air pieces, and on top I did enclosed foils with the Blond Studio 7, which give her these beautiful pops of light, little ribbons throughout, and a lot of natural depth. Would you like to see how it's done? Gloves are on, safety first. I have prepared my product in my bowl. I have put in 1 scoop of the Blond Studio Clay lightener and I put in 1 to 2, so 2 times the developer, 30 volume, and watch this. Now I love using a spatula. This is a creamy lightener. Making sure that I pump as little air into my lightener as possible. I like to mix it, not whip it. We're going to mix and flip and fold, kind of like baking. You can see while I'm mixing it that it's turning into the most beautiful, creamy consistency. Just like that. I'm ready to share with you a little technique. Let's get to it. What am I going to need to create my technique? Today I'm going to be using a planchette, a tail comb, a brush of course, some foil, and let's not forget our pre-treatment. This is the Metal Detox pre-treatment for neutralizing any metals that are in the hair. Before we begin, I take the hair, I spritz on a couple pumps, and I take my comb and comb it through so it's evenly distributed from roots to end. And then I mix my color and I apply the product straight away. I'm going to be creating the most beautiful face framing money piece that pops with some soft and subtle balayage at the bottom and a few fine foils on top to connect the whole look. I'm already mixed up with my Blond Studio 7 and of course I pre-treated all the hair with the Metal Detox treatment, which helps with less breakage, 87% less breakage, and 100% color results. So why not use it every time? And I'm gonna get my planchette out. Watch this. Extreme adherence and the creamiest consistency. Look at that. It's so nice. I love it. And my brush has it all over it. Let me clean that off. There it is. I love working with clean tools. It makes my technique a little bit cleaner looking. So again, just sharing with you. There you go. Beautiful, creamy consistency, which makes it so easy to apply. I'm going to be sectioning my mannequin in 4 sections, leaving out the face framing hair and sectioning the top horseshoe where the parietal ridge is, just enough to fit a foil. And each section will have 4 quarters. I'm going to take my section and I'm going to do a big paint. I'm going to be enveloping the hair with the Blond Studio Clay 7 on a diagonal back. This lightener is so great. It can be, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? I cut myself off. I got so excited. This lightener is really great for multi-techniques. It can be used for a global application. With the global application, it will be warm. And your mixing ratio for a global application is going to be 1:3 with 20 or 30 volume. No 40 volume with the on-scalp application, please. And you can do an enclosed application. And what's beautiful about the enclosed application is it can be mixed with 20 or 30 volume, no 40 volume, with this mixing ratio of 1:1 or 1:2. So you can see how creamy that is. Now I'm wanting to apply my lightener so I can't see the hair underneath. I want the thickest cream cheese layer on top. Because it is a clay lightener, it's going to dry on the outside and cocoon the product on the inside. My goal is to make it thick enough that the product on the inside stays wet. Look at that. Didn't come through, which is amazing. Oh, it did fold though. There we go. That was a safe catch. Okay, so I'm just going to pull it through the bottoms. I need to make sure that I push the product through those ends. This is a lightener that needs to have the product wrapped around the hair fiber to allow to get maximum levels of lift. Smoothing out that bottom piece just like that. And I'm gonna let that sit. I'm gonna repeat the same technique all the way around. She is in process right now. So what I love about this technique, it leaves nice depth in the center for that top piece to sit over like a veil with some lighter pieces on the outside. Moving on, I am going to now do the side face framing and the money piece. Depending on your client's thickness, will depend on how thick your piece will be in and around the side. I would say it would be 2 to 3 weaved packages going back. I like to start right on the face. So taking my section, bring her a little bit closer, I'm going to weave directly from the hairline. This is going to give me a soft, natural result. Now let's say you're doing your open air balayage technique and you get some on other parts of the hair, which is completely possible. The beauty of this lightener is it is a slow bake lightener. It's okay. It is not going to lift the hair. You can wipe it off because it'll just dry up and crumble off. So I'm coming in, getting right close to that hairline and applying the lightener to the hair. It's about a spaghetti sized pieces. making sure I'm folding that hair in and applying a good amount of Blond Studio 7. This is the same formula with 30 volume. Closing that piece off, and as you can see, there's no transfer on my foil because it's clay-based and it's dried already. I'm going to do one more foil back to back against my other foil, going in, again weaving, doing the same technique, pulling it back away from the face. I believe I was sharing my mixing ratios and I left one out, and that is the freehand balayage. This technique has a mixing ratio of a 1:1, and you can use 20, 30, or 40 volume. The more lift you want with the open air technique, the 40 volume. Because it is exposed to air, you want to get a little bit higher in volume to get your maximum levels of lift. I do quite enjoy the 30 volume with my open air techniques and my enclosed, making sure to always protect the integrity of the hair. Those two pieces are complete, and I'm actually just going to take my leftover pieces and I'm just going to do a couple teases and take a foil on my, there we go, let's turn her so you can see those left out hairs. Take a foil, take my long board, my long planchette, put the hair there. I did some teasing to help blend that hair, and I'm just gonna go in and I'm going to just do the ends to maintain some depth in between the balayage and the face framing to help it pop. Those ends are going to blend right into the piece behind and give a nice face framing pop around the face. I am going to do the exact same technique on the other side and then move on to the money piece. I am rolling right into my favorite section, the money piece. I am going to take it and I'm going to be weaving right along the hairline without sectioning. This is going to create a really soft, natural effect. If she or they have a cowlick, you can do that first tiny piece first and then move on to the front weave. It'll be enclosed in foil, just like that. And I like to start in the middle, about a spaghetti size weave, and folding those ends right in. See how creamy that consistency is? I'm gonna bring her a little bit closer, just so you can enjoy and see how creamy this product is. I love it. There we go. Nice thick consistency, bringing that right up to the hairline, just like so. Blond Studio 7, because it is a slow bake, it is wonderful for doing a money piece because it can sit for up to 50 minutes. That's your processing time. Next section. Oh. Just so, you know, she can see. Next section is going to just be a slice of what was left out before. Just like that. It stays really well. It makes it easy to apply. Gently folding that hair in, bringing that right up, folding that off, and on to the next section. This final section is going to be a weave. Just like that. This one, I'm not going to go quite as close to the new growth, just to allow some depth, because what makes our money piece pop? Shadow. So having a nice shadow in the background allows for the money piece to pop. There we go, just like that. Here I've dropped the first section from the horseshoe on top, and that is going to be a really fine weave. This is going to allow for a nice shadow right in behind that last piece. So I'm going to weave this, put in a foil, and then I will continue to do baby lights through the top, all the way to the back of this section. And then at the end, what I would do is I would freehand air paint, freehand balayage, open air, paint the ends that are left out to give a little bit more pop on top. So I would take these in each section, do a nice back comb, and do a little bit of palm painting on those ends to give a really soft, natural looking technique. I would let this process for up to 50 minutes and rinse, wash with my Metal Detox anti-cleansing cream, and let me pull this off. Before I would use the protector mask from Metal Detox, I would really go in and use one of the treatments. These are great treatments. This is Vitamino Color Rinse. It is a treatment that is applied at the sink. It's an acidic sealer, brings the pH down, increases the shine, 6 times shine for 24 hours. Who doesn't want that? And so apply in an S motion, rinse immediately, beautifully detangles the hair, makes it so soft and seals that color in. I love this clay lightener. It's so easy to work with. Finished off the top with baby lights, paint it, freehand paint it, the leftover pieces, and I'm gonna let my mannequin process. Well, I recap Blond Studio 7 Clay Lightener with you right now. Blond Studio 7 is a unique lightener. Let's give it a round of applause. It is clay-based at 19% clay, ammonia-free, giving you 7 levels of lift. It has a smooth consistency when mixed with Majicreme 20, 30, or 40 volume. Blond Studio 7 is specially made for open air techniques like freehand painting and balayage, giving you the softest, most natural looking results. It is extreme adherence, which is great for when you're trying to precision paint and you need that product to stay put. This clay-based product is going to stay where you put it, which is absolutely amazing. It is also a multi-technique product. You can use it for global and enclosed techniques. When you're creating your mixing ratios with Blond Studio 7, for global, you will mix a mixing ratio of 1:3 with 20 and 30 volume Majicreme, no 40 volume on scalp. Enclosed, your mixing ratio will be 1:1 to 1:2. Mixing it with 20 and 30 volume, no 40 volume enclosed. Open air techniques like freehand and balayage, your mixing ratio will be 1:1 with Majicreme, 20, 30, and 40 volume. Your processing time is up to 50 minutes. And of course, no heat, please. And don't forget to apply the newest product for protection, Metal Detox Pre-Treatment. It's going to remove and neutralize those metals that are getting in the way of your lifting process. It allows for better lifting and 87% less breakage and 100% color result. So they're beautiful products to pair together, and why not? It's super easy. Thank you for watching, and if you would like to learn more about the Blond Studio portfolio, check out my next video. You can also check me out on IG at Rachelle Stylist. Thank you so much, and see you next time.